The other ones that were raided were like agribusinesses. So involved in poultry and piggery. I think.
Okay.
Is there a difference to identify or avoid or determine this is a scam? Because yes, you mentioned that the three things: registration, secondary license, and guaranteed investments. But as we touched earlier, that they are buying and selling, and then which and that is actually the actual process in making or getting profit from, let's say, pigs. So you get a pig, you buy it as a piglet, and then you grow. In theory, you grow it. It reaches a certain weight. And you think it's mature. Then you sell it. So the more heavier or healthier the pig, the more it will be sold for. The bigger your profit margin. Same, I think the same is true with poultry. It's just micro because it's chicks, from chicks to chickens. Then you harvest the chicken, or you sell the eggs or the. So
what's the difference between a?
What can we? What's an additional point to check?
Okay, sa ordinary
it's
buy.
on legitimate.
Okay, let's just say di ba, buy and sell transactions happen in agricultural businesses every day. Okay. So, ang diferensya man good in these schemes is like nakatawa ko kay one of my friends niingon nga kana daw somebody he knows
who's a poultry
nanawag daw sa I think it was Ada Farms. I think gitawagan daw nga gipangutana daw og what if mamatay kuno ang manok. Ang tubag daw is di daw sila mamatyan og manok. I mean, come on, di ba? Immortal ang chicken, di ba? So, sa ordinary manggod nga buy and sell, expected yun ang mamatyan, inana, di ba?
It's a living animal.
Of course, masakit, etc. How come nga mo guarantee man sila og return? Nga kanig yun, after pila ka days, X number of days, you will get a certain percentage. Nganong di man sila maingon nga depende og pila ka days o dako na nya. Pagbuhi nya igbaligya na to what akibaw at that time down ba ang presyo sa chicken, supply and demand. Why wa man siya sultiana? Why guaranteed man? So red flag na siya daan. That's the difference between ordinary buy and sell and the scams. Kaya ngano mo guarantee mo ka? Ngano sa stable gyud ang presyo sa baboy mo gyud na nga muana man ma-fluctuate man siya
depending on supply and demand,
di ba? So mo nay usa sa tan-awon usa na dako gyud kay nga diferensya
for agribusiness.
Yes, for agribusiness. And also the thing I found out about these agribusinesses is that actually ako lang ning murag hunch ba they siguro started out as a poultry farm or a piggery nga gamay. Naka-idea sila ani, no? Ang usa sa tanawon nimo ana, if there is really a real or actual animal, how come nga unlimited ang ilang pagdawat og investment? Let's say, mayon ka kani invest ni hatag ko ani kay na may baboy. Okay? So, ingon ana day sila kapaspas makatukod og mga tangkal. Walay kaping ba? No? So ina jud kadako ang ilang kuan nga dagana.
From a business like standpoint, the growth is too fast.
Yes, too fast, impossible.
It requires a lot of land.
Okay. For example, og tinuod gyud ka nga buy and sell gyud. Mingon ka nga, uy, mo appeal ko na inyong baboy. Uy, ayaw sa kay wa na lagi may baboy niya, magtukod pa mig mga tangkal niya kuan. How come nga this scams di man sila mingon mo balibad? Sige ra magdawat. Sige return. So something is wrong. Diba? Usa na mga tanawon nun. Ngayon magsige magagdawat. Diba? Posible sa gayo. Yang gawas atong mamatyan. Di mamatyan. Inana ba?
That's pretty clear for the agribusiness scams. So we've chatted with some of the defenders online.
Okay.
And they say, of course, we already addressed some of the typical defense.
Okay.
Like they have SEC, they have business permit, but that's not important. The important thing is the secondary license and if they guarantee.
Yes.
And then
unbelievable bang returns?
Is it a scam? Scam ba if may payout?
I think ang gi-refer ana sa defender is murag
So
scam
long as-
din nga
so long-
nakadawat
so
man
long
mi.
as they receive something,
Yes,
it's not a
yes.
scam.
Pero actually, I have been lawyer for the legacy victims, which collapsed in 2009, I think. I represented more than 50 individuals siguro, or 40-50 from Cebu with hundreds of millions of claim. Kanang we were invited to the Senate inquiry on this matter. Kay dako
Was
magyugay
it
to.
resolved or not yet?
Actually,
Ongoing?
until now,
For claims.
daghan kayo og investor ay sa legacy nga wagit kadawat. Okay, so inana, that was how bad that one was. Pero kaning kapa is much more bigger ha. Ang legacy was estimated to be around 30 billion. Can you imagine that nga kana bang ingon ana kadako bitaw? Yeah, ang kapa is estimated sa SEC is 50 billion ra gani. I think it's more than that. Okay? So ang kana magud siya nga ang ilang katarungan is nganong mas kaman nga nakadawat man mi. Okay? Nya, naglungtad daw og 6 years. Believe it or not, legacy lasted for almost 10 years. If you do the archival research. Okay, so nakikidawat gyud ang mga tao. In fact, safety gani, they feel very safe kuno kay they were issued post-dated checks. Untol ni kakihatag criminal or something, di ba? Tanami gikuptan. Pero what happened? Di ba? Nakadawat sila. Napagani checky. Ano sa tabo? Ni collapse. Di ba? So kanang
When they, a lot of people withdraw or
kuan, we really don't know
How it
unsa
collapsed.
gyud nahitabo.
Trigger.
Ingon sila nga it's because of the 2007
financial crisis?
World Financial Crisis. Nya mga legacy got invested some kuan dito sa abroad.
So they can feed
Muna yung mga
fund.
muna yung mga kuan, they were trying to grow it kay double your money good in 3 years, na 5 years lain man ang scheme. So it's not sustainable. Nangita sila way nga ma-sustain ang business kay daghan sa sila business. Just like kapa karon nga daghan ko ng business. So at the end of the day, somewhere along the line, mistakes were committed sa kuan, pagbutang og pundo siguro sa gawas, ni collapse. Moto ni tabo. And everybody was left holding the empty bag, so to speak. So dili na siya guarantee nga mo pay out. Of course, kung gamito nimo logic, mo pay out gyud na siya kay ang nasagdi sila mo pay out gyud na sila.
To ensure that the scheme continues.
Yes, but no Ponzi scheme will last. Regardless of pila pa na ka years, like Bernie Madoff, he ran a Ponzi scheme, di ba?
How long ito?
And it ran for several years, no? I don't know, ingon man nila, estimate nila is, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 years gani. In fact, hindi man nila ma-determine kung okay, he was a legitimate portfolio manager, very prominent in fact, no? And di na nila ma-determine man god at what point in Madoff's career did he start the Ponzi scheme. So they said nga it ran siguro 15, 20 years, we don't know. So na may payout ang investor. So dili na siya pwede mahimong katarungan kana i payout.
So what about inang bully ra ka, crab mentality, di ka ganahan makatabang og laing tao?
kanang ingon ana nga mga kuan ba mga ang bully ra ka inana well I've heard that no kanang dili daw kuan dili daw anti-poor ming
if you scrutinize these schemes, you're anti-poor.
murag ingon ana ni masagon na siya nga if kung kamo pro-poor gid mo tanan ninyong kuan ibutang dia. Di ba? Tanan niyo, baligyan ninyo yung mga yuta, tanan. Di ba? Okay. It's not about being anti-poor. It's, kaya bang, I don't think the SEC, the government, me, or anybody else will object to a scheme nga mabulahan tang tanan, basta sustainable. In fact, kanang gibuhat nila, that is the one that is anti-poor. Because at the end of the day,
taking advantage.
di ba? You take advantage kaya mahitabo mo na it is always the people below nga maawhay. Di ba? Ang nag-una na katong yung mga medyo na kwarta kay unsa may imong invest og kay kwarta. So mahitabo ang katong dili kayo wa kayo resources, dili well off. Mo to sila awhay gyud. Unya mo pag to ang mga tao nga mangutang. I've heard a lot of stories, inutang ra ba to na kong kwarta ha. Mo to sila ang luoy kayo kay when everything collapses, they will be the ones literally holding the empty bag. Kaya katong mga nisod, nakabawi naman to. In fact, in certain bayan, the advocacy group that we run, diba? There's I have a friend there who has a kaning PhD in mathematics. Iyang ipakita ang computation o how many percent ang maka-income sa scam o how many percent ang maalkansi yun. And based on geometrical kaning progression, 60 to more than 80% ang alkansi yun will be left holding the empty bag.
60%?
60 to 80%. Kaya depende man sa unsay klase nga scheme. Oh, ila man ang gi-compute o unsay kuan. So, na scheme nga 66% ang alkansi. Ang the rest anang balance mo ginansya to kay mo pay out man, no? I mean, mo bawi man. Ni bawi ka nya, ni gawas ka, di ba? Ay nana ba? Or nakabawi na ka, nya, although nisud kag balik, ni collapse, okay ra kay nakabawi naman ka. But 66% yun. To 80s as high as 88%. So inana, at the end of the day, it will always be the poor nga alkansi. So kanang scams mo ay anti-poor.